England, one of the strongest and most fun nations for both beginners and EU4 pros. Problem is that it's so overplayed. It needs new content. How about a new formable? Not enough? Let's do new missions, new disasters, switching the entire experience completely as you defend your nation from collapsing internally while rebellious factions form separate entities. Triumph and you shall be rewarded with dominance over the HRE as you establish Anglican as the official faith and you make everybody follow it like loyal puppets they are. This is all available in a new content packed 1.9.5 Ante Bellum update. It's so good that Elon Musk thought it was real. And now, let's begin. As we enter the game, we are greeted with the game rules window, so we can change up some stuff here, such as migratory tribes. We're going to be disabling this to make the game smoother, as we're not going to focus on colonizing in this run. Return of the Hussites. Let's make Bohemian AI always convert to Hussite. Disable the preset colonial nations. Once again, maybe this will make the game a little bit more smooth. I want to have the rise of the Ottomans always enabled, so they will spawn. And the rest of the stuff we can pretty much leave as default. Maybe let's give the Frankish disaster to Frankia as well. There we go. Love it. Okay, so we want to join the Empire, but we are too large to join it and we have bad relations with Frankie. I think what we can do simply is get elected as the Emperor, join the HRE, and then just lose the Emperorship because we don't want to be the Catholic Emperor. We want to be a heretic religion nation that's going to be on the opposite side of the Religious League War. For this reason, I'm going to ally up some electors such as Cologne. Let's go for Mainz. Just need to make sure that they don't rival like too many of other electors, and we can even do Lombardy. Sure, that's good enough. Okay, some of these guys are already voting for us, which is great. Now next up, the state setup. So let's get +1 mana points to clergy and burghers, not getting any privileges to nobility, and I will explain why shortly. But now let's just get some additional loyalties, some diplomatic reputation, loans for sure. And basically, after we're done with this, we can also go ahead and select our naval doctrine, and let's go with ship durability, why not? Let's get some advisors. Unfortunately, no good advisors for military, but we can go for national manpower. We can get this cheaper diplomatic reputation advisor, and we can get a cheaper national unrest one as well. Man, I love some of these advisors in Ante Bellum. Look at that. Development cost reduction, and you might have noticed that we have aggressive expansion impact reduction as well. So if the money is there, you pretty much always want to take this before finishing a war to mitigate your aggressive expansion. We have way too many forts, boys. Okay, so let's destroy these two. I don't know, maybe let's leave the one in Callan for now. And we can leave this one by the border with Scotland. We can get a couple more transports. Maybe let's even get a flagship, make this a heavy ship, because we want to have an unbeatable navy. So we're going to give this flagship cannons, morale, and even durability. And for our rivals, let's select Scotland. Let's go with Denmark. And we can even do Brittany. But the thing with Denmark is that they start with the province of Hull in Britain, and we need to retake it. It's our core. We need this for one of the missions. Speaking of the missions, this is a massive mission tree. There's a lot of stuff to do. There's missions for colonization as well, which we're not going to cover in today's run. But the colonizing part is pretty much your usual Great Britain stuff that you would have in the base game as well. So it's not like it's something super unique that I would show you. I think the base mission tree, excluding the colonization part, is the most interesting part. Now we also have the English Witan, which is basically the parliament, and it would be awesome if we could get 5% additional crown lands, but we do not have this debate. I think I'm gonna skip like 1 or 2 more months, and if we don't get it, we will just opt for the stability. We will need +3 stability anyways. We can designate Calais as the staple port. This is available in the base game as well. And later on we can get some missionary strength if we want to. Now guys, our first war is actually going to be against Cornwall because we have cores on their provinces, on 2 of them. We only need to core 1. But we do want to make a claim on Wales because we did not actually get a claim through our missions for some reason. So we're gonna make this one manually. And yeah, it's the 11th of December. They did get an alliance with Lotharingia, which is a bit annoying, not gonna lie. These guys have 18,000. Yeah. Now what do we want to do about this? Because we can only transport 12 units at once. I think what I'm gonna do is not rush with this war. We will build up some additional soldiers, maybe even get like the Grand Company. Let's get the general. 2 shock will do for now. Now we do want to hunt for a better advisor, that's for sure. So pretty much what I'm doing here, guys, is I'm transporting most of our units over to Kalin, and this way we can actually go ahead and start our war, because we have 6,000 units over here and we have 22,000 to deal with Lotharingia, which should be enough. Very unfortunate it has happened, but this is what EU4 is about. Every start is going to be different most of the time. And we do not get the... Oh, we actually do have the centralized land ownership debate. Awesome. This is what we were looking for in the first place. So we already have 20% crown lands. Now, all your corn belongs to me, and we can start sieging down this fort. Oh, crap, he's here. Okay, that was a bit dangerous, but there we go. We destroyed half of his army. And this is going to be the second half. It should be a wipe. Excellent stuff, guys. I think this should be enough. We occupied a couple of their forts. We can actually take 480 ducats, which is pretty big. Yeah, that'll do. That'll definitely do. And we're done with the mission. Rival the Danish Navy as well, because we built a couple of more ships. So we get morale of navies, an admiral with 40 tradition. And obviously, we can continue with the full annexation of Cornwall. Now, in the meantime, guys, we made a claim on Wales. So this can be our second war if we want to. I was even considering to go for a humiliation war with Scotland, but this is crazy. Like, this game is super wild with the alliances, because Scotland got one with Francia, which is super cursed again. It's just not something that happens in Ante Bellum from what I've noticed. I know that French and Scottish alliance is not that, you know, rare in the base game. But okay, we got a little bit of money, maybe we can upgrade this trade center. And I believe this is unique to Ante Bellum as well. We get the Dane Guild until we complete the End the Danelaw mission, 15% additional national tax modifier. And this mission is the one that revolves around us taking back Hull. Okay, so Wales at least has no alliances, so this is going to be easy. We can start this up. Right, so this is done. Full annexation once again for us. Thank you very much for that. And we have another mission, subjugate Wales, 50 mil points and a skill 1 recruiter 50% cheaper. I think I'm gonna take him. I was rocking this Cav compatibility advisor, but this 50% cheaper advisor is probably gonna be better. We have no more manpower, so I'm just going to consolidate units. And now the question is, do we want to fight Francia? Maybe we can do that once we reach level 4. Scotland has only 4,000 units, Francia has 28,000. I think what we could do is just use all of our units for the French, so we get them out of the war as soon as possible and then come back and fight Scotland. Now, the difference is between us going for a humiliation war or just simply attacking them for a conquest. The thing is, if we want to get claims on them, we actually need to do a couple of stuff, which includes signing sphered or sinning sphered, however you pronounce this, and that would require us to have a skill 2 mill advisor, 30,000 units or 100% of the force limit, and completed the mission and the Danelaw. So we want to focus the Danish first, actually, before we focus Scotland. I suppose we can do this. Now, do they have... They had 26 ships. That's not the worst, you know. They're allied with Oldenburg. Honestly, what we could do is just get an alliance with someone like Sweden. Even Norway hates them, so maybe Norway is gonna be even better because they have 14,000 units. I'm gonna ally Norway. Or, you know, just both of these nations. Sure, that could work as well. We're gonna select this as the provinces that we desire, because we actually need to get the state. And obviously the core. I don't know, maybe they won't give us the occupation, maybe they will give it to us. We will find out. But let's proceed with this war now, because this is something that we definitely need to do. And we're gonna promise these guys lands. Will we give lands? That's another question for the future. So hopefully this is going to go well. Let's try and help our boys with the naval battles. Honestly, maybe we can just transport some of our units over to North Jutland. We have 15 transports right now, which is definitely not too bad. Let's go, boys. Let's do it. We need to occupy these provinces before the other Scandinavian guys come here. And Sweden can go for their capital. Lovely. Right, so we finally cored up the one province that we needed to core from Cornwall, and all of their cores will be removed from the map, and the culture in the province of Cornwall will be changed to English. We get a harsh treatment cost minus 25% for 20 years as well. This was honestly super fast, and we don't really care about keeping the Scandinavian alliances, so we can just not give them provinces if we want to. We can get like humiliation, that would be pretty good, so we can get the golden era started faster. So let's push for just a tiny bit more war score, and we're above the relation slots anyway, so these guys kinda have to go. Whoa, a new champion of the joust. Is it even worth it, man? Like, I haven't been having good luck with this, but we're maxed out with the legitimacy, so this is pretty much the only time when I take this event, when we have max legitimacy, so let's do it. Hopefully it's not gonna be terrible. I mean, he's okay, he's not the worst, at least 3 siege pips, that's not bad. Oh, you guys are so dead. You're so dead. He is level 4 by now, so they're not really weak. But it's still a wipe because they don't have where to escape. And we can finish the war now. So we're taking the province of Hull, we're taking North Jutland, a little bit of money. And obviously before we finish the war, we're going to exchange our advisor for aggressive expansion impact 1. So check this out, now we get only 37 aggressive expansion. Nobody cares. Thank you very much for helping us, Scandinavian boys. Now you can get rid of these alliances, I don't care. And we can end the Danelaw, which will give us the event, the fall of the Danelaw. We get 10 power projection, aggressive expansion impact minus 10%, and permaclaims on North Jutland and a couple more areas. So this is going to be even cheaper for us to core now, and obviously we can even concentrate development. Landfall in Scandinavia is going to give us minus 15% war score cost versus other religions and permaclaims on Denmark and Schleswig-Holstein. I think we can actually keep this one and take this after we finish our next war versus a different religion nation, so that this modifier basically is extended for us. Guys, super important stuff. We have the national decision reformed with the Najimot. Now for this one we need 100 legitimacy, free stability, and this is why we didn't grant privileges to nobility, because we need to have less than 5 privileges and less than 60 influence, or otherwise we would need 70 loyalty. So this is just how I choose to do it. We lost a bit of legitimacy because we chose that event, Champion of the Joust, and obviously we cannot afford to have plus free stability yet, but we're going to wait on this a little bit actually. For now, let's just go ahead and summon the Diet. Maybe let's go with the nobility option because we do have a decent level of influence right now. We can get a little bit more crownlands. Even though I betrayed these guys, they still want a royal marriage with us. Okay then. Also, we don't need this fort anymore, and we're gonna delete the one in Hull after the devastation is gone. But now we can complete yet another mission. We just need to do this, promote the advisor. Boom. More manpower, land maintenance modifier minus 20%, and more permaclaims. And we actually have permaclaims on Normandy now, which once again has some pretty tough alliances. Come on, there's another thing that I'm hoping to happen, and that is Francia's ruler Lothar III passing away. He's 53 years old. Anytime now, sir. Anytime. You know, this is great. They're fighting Lotharingia. This is actually great because we might be able to avoid them. This war is going to be super easy. Alright, it finally happened. We have the emperorship. So what we can do is join the empire. Sure, let's pass this first reform. The fate of Francia is happening. We have the incident. So the thing now is we can expel Francia from the empire. Let's expel these guys. Alright, so these guys have been expelled. To win this war, we must enforce our demands by using the Assert Imperial Authority Peace option. This will give us 200 prestige and 200 Ooh, that's actually not bad. Okay, so we're at war with these guys, but we have a bunch of nations on our side. I mean, we should be good here. Okay, he's gonna try and siege us down. That's not going to happen. Get out, sir. Let's quickly barrage the forts too. Oh my god, that's a lot of ships. Okay, we might have overstayed our welcome. We lost quite a few ships ourselves, and that's not great. We will need to rebuild. We didn't lose transports. We mainly lost, I believe, trade ships, which is, I guess, alright. Let's get a couple more heavies. We will need these. I'm gonna take out a loan because we need an advisor. I mean, we have the entirety of HRE in this war, so even though it looks a bit difficult, it shouldn't be like that. We will be able to start piecing out nations separately soon. Like we can piece out Bamberg already. Okay guys, we actually have enough war score now. I want to break their alliance with Scotland too, so let's push for a little bit more. Yup, that is it, boys. We're even taking war reparations and a tiny bit of cash. Boom. Victory for the Emperor. Every subject of Francia that is an imperial prince or was one through the incident will be granted independence and will rejoin the Empire. Sweet. Now guys, we actually have all the stuff required to reform the Vidojevic. This is going to be a pretty big disaster though. Let me explain in depth. We are losing free stability, we're gaining 5 corruption, losing 300 diplo points. Now, the good thing is that we're replacing our tier 1 government reform, which reduces max absolutism, increases nobility influence, increases minimum autonomy, yearly corruption. It's just a terrible one. So we're replacing this with a better one, but that's not just it. Replacing the with the Najimot will greatly reduce the power of the Heptarch. They won't find this new agreement acceptable. So this is going to spawn a disaster that's pretty much the equivalent of the War of Roses, but even worse. There's going to be a bunch of rebellions that will pop out of our nation if we don't kill the rebels that will spawn fast. So let's bring all of our boys back to our mainland. Let's go with the tier 2 government reform, and we have a couple of good choices here, unique ones. Magdeburg rights would reduce the dev cost modifier and increase trade power, so if you want to play tall, you go for this basically. If you want to be a Giga Chad, you go for the House Carls, which is what we're going for with the increased infantry compatibility and army tradition. And guys, let's not forget that we have a super big army force limit now that we are the emperor, so we're going to get a ton of soldiers. I would actually like to get a little bit of more money, so what I'm gonna do is just exploit tax development in our provinces so we get a tiny bit more cash. And we will use this cash for two different things. One of them is going to be embracing the institution. We can grab level 5 after we get rid of the disaster. And honestly, there we go, we should be good. Let's do it. Now, a bit more crown lands, we have 30% already, and actually now we can grant more privileges, so we're gonna go with the monthly mail power, we're gonna go with nobility officer corps. Even a right for diet call is gonna be good because we want to complete this agenda automatically. And of course, let's not forget supremacy over the crown for loyalty. So because we reformed, we have a mission done, abolish the Vidojevic. We get 10 legitimacy, which we don't really need at this point, harsh treatment cost and rebel suppression efficiency. And the disaster is now progressing by 2% per month. Hey, nice, that's pretty cool. Plus stability, that's gonna help. It actually delays the disaster a little bit to the point where we can actually start the war versus Scotland. And now they're allied with Denmark, which is just fine. It's just fine considering Denmark is super weak now. Scotland has 13k, that's great. Since we have some claims, I might as well go for it. I've just noticed, guys, Normandy has been cut down in size. They're one province minor, so we probably will be vassalizing them because we're gonna need their lands for our missions. The Irish boys are wilding out. What the hell, man? They're invading us. That's not how this works, bro. I'm sorry. You have to go. You have to leave. Right, finally we destroyed Denmark once again, so we're just going to take their money. And we have our first idea group, boys, so what we can take, I'm honestly thinking about something to mitigate our collisions, and espionage might not be the worst idea for the 20% because we actually have 15% aggressive expansion impact reduction in our national ideas, so that already would be 35. Maybe we can become the Korea controller and use that, you know, until we switch our religion to Anglican. And having fast sieges, combining this with offensive would be pretty good anyways, so let's go for this, let's go for espionage. There's obviously some unique idea sets in Ante Bellum, such as state governance ideas, imperial ideas, which in some cases can be good, especially I like the state governance ones, so we might be taking this later on. To be honest, imperial sounds insane with this 35% improved relations bonus. And this also has aggressive expansion impact reduction. And there's some pretty good policies with this too. Like, combine this with admin, get 15% more gov capacity. Combine it with expansion, 15% reverse expansion impact reduction, so it can be even better than what we took here. Maybe I should do like an HRE run in Ante Bellum at some point. But the next one is probably going to be one of the Chinese nations. Right, this is pretty much, do we even need to fight them? We probably don't. Like, we're not going to full annex them, we're just taking the lowlands pretty much. Yeah, so this is 72, we can take money, we can maybe break something. The alliance with Denmark, do we need to? Nah, they can keep it. Honestly, this is gonna be enough. And I'm immediately gonna go after another war because we still have time. So this one's going to be Connacht. Now, if you look into this, guys, their total war score cost is 90%. And they have a bunch of subjects in Ireland. And what this means is that once we full annex them, we get the entirety of Ireland because everybody else is their subjects. So this is going to be an insane expansion super fast. There we go, their army is done for. So guys, that is it. Now let's not forget the advisor, where are you? And boom, we can end this war. There's no collision. Full annexation of Ireland, and this means we actually have a couple of missions done. We have laudable conquest. This is going to give us permaclaims. We even get permaclaims on Connacht, so this is going to be once again cheaper to core. We get morale of armies. Cross Hadrian's Wall, once again a lot of monarch points, shock damage bonus, permaclaims on a Highlands area. High King of Ireland is going to reduce the local core creation cost, once again reducing the costs for us. And 20 prestige. If we complete this mission while we have at least 2 vassals in Ireland, we're going to get Diplo annexation cost minus 15% for 20 years. So we can use that to integrate all of the subjects. But one thing that is super cool about these subjects is that they're not your typical vassals. They are Ruriks. Essentially, they don't occupy your diplo relation slots and they have more interactions, like you could say France has with their appanages. You can conscript the generals from these guys, so you can just scout the best general for you and take it from your subject. Like for example, I have this 5 shock general that I will be taking right now from Leinster. And this just increases their liberty desire by a little bit, which changes nothing for us in the worst direction. So honestly, it might not even be the worst idea to keep them, to just keep these subjects. So you can continuously take their generals, don't pay mill points for them. And I'm even considering this, maybe we should just grant all the provinces in Ireland to the subjects and not worry about coring this at all. What do we need to form in Britannia? So we need a couple of core provinces and nothing needs to be cored in Ireland, so we don't need that. I think I might just be splitting Ireland and giving it to our boys. There we go, they can fight it out who's going to be the master of Ireland, because these guys actually can attack each other. So it will be interesting to see what they will do. Oh, nice. Lotharingia doesn't want to join, so we can take the 2 provinces that are remaining for Normandy. 2 provinces, I didn't notice this one before. Alright, let's do it, let's take them. Since they want to give it to us, why not? I don't know, is it worth to even vassalize them? That's like 30 development here. I suppose we can. So guys, if you didn't believe me that this is the worse than War of Roses disaster, this is your proof. We're losing 4 stability, 100 legitimacy, and we're gonna get 60,000 rebels now immediately. Our rivals can involve themselves in the Heptarch Wars and support the pretender rebels. Now the one thing we wanna avoid is for the rebellious nations to spawn out, so what we need to do is crush the rebels super fast and we need to restore our stability. We're gonna need to use this stab cost modifier guy, that's one thing, and we're gonna need to super fast go after the rebels now. This is gonna be bad. So I'ma hire him right now. There we go, let's start boosting this up. Alright, that should be a couple of factions down and out if everything goes well. We have reinforcements. Right, so we have our first age ability. Obviously, we're going with the Justified Wars. We do not have a unique one for this age. And I believe we don't have one in Reformation as well. So England and Ante Bellum probably has one in Absolutis Mage, if I would have to guess. There it begins, guys. Very unfortunate. But we have to basically declare reconquest wars on the rebellion factions such as Northumbria. So essentially we have to reclaim our nation back. And we need to make this super fast. Boom, boost the stability back up to 0. But we need to assault this, barrage this. And okay, with us being quick, guys, here we go. We reclaimed Northumbria. We can once again core this up, state this up, I should say. And what else do we need? So we need at least 1 stability and we need 75 legitimacy. Now how do we get legitimacy? Pretty much, I believe we just need to spend mill points for this. So this is going to take a while once again. And I believe we will have to fight more of these rebellion nations. Yeah, there we go, we got more rebels spawning, 13 separatists. At least it's not that a huge and a fun amount this time. The worst thing is the rebels in Denmark. Now this is not good, that's like 40k. Yeah. I don't like that. I swear to god, this disaster is like 3 times worse than the base game. Okay, it's not that bad, it's not that bad, it's controllable. Destroy these boys. Don't let these guys occupy the province. We can come in with this army, and this army is going to be here shortly. Boom. Get wrecked, kids. We just need 2 more clicks to restore the legitimacy. And boom, we have aggressive expansion impact reduction. Oh man, we're super close. I'm gonna wait it out. I'm not gonna spend any more mill points. We can just fight this one nation right here that spawns. And boom, we have 75 legitimacy. So after this war, we're actually done with this bullcrap. Whoa, that was annoying, but we have it, boys. Great, good stuff. End of the Heptarch Wars is here. We gain +1 stability. And this lets us do another mission, which is going to give us 100 diplo points, and all cores of these kingdoms of the Heptarchy will be permanently removed. Okay, we can work on strengthening our nation. Let's begin with reducing autonomy where we can. And next up, let's invade Brittany, because it's such an easy nation to take out. Ooh, interesting. There's a 1 province Champagne which we can easily vassalize, and they have some very important cores that we will retake from Lotharingia. Okay, so let's grab a royal marriage with these guys. Actually, we can just get rid of some of the previous alliances that we had, such as mines. We don't need this. And we have a choice. We could full annex Brittany, or we could make them our subject because they're in a defensive war with Frankie. So we pretty much would be able to join up a war. But I think I'm going to focus more on our mission tree. We're going to follow this. So we're going to take landfall in Scandinavia for the permaclaim on Denmark. And this is going to allow us to attack Denmark and take their stuff. It's a good moment for sure. So I'm just going to full annex Brittany in this case. Boom. This is great. And let's work on vassalizing Champagne. And obviously declare a quick war on Denmark. We will be taking the rest of their stuff. Alright, nice. We occupy the province of Polans, their capital actually, and we can finish that war. Sure, you can break some treaties if it's possible. We can probably just full annex Denmark, can't we? Oh no, they're actually gonna be left with one province, which kinda sucks. So I think I'm gonna be focusing on taking this, and maybe Sweden can just take the remaining province. I really don't care about that. Boom, alright. We can concentrate some dev here. We can complete another mission, which is going to be control the sound toll. This actually upgrades the sound toll grade project by 1 level. So probably what we want to do is keep this until we can have this at level 2 and get the 3rd level for free. It's a pretty good monument. Local trade power, domestic trade power, ship trade propagation. Right, now this is what I'm talking about. We have the vassal of Champagne. We can also go ahead and grab strong duchies because we now have actual 2 vassals and not rurich, which don't count towards the vassal slots. But we can still divert trade from them. We have a couple of nations on which we can go for reconquests. Francia, and we also have Lotharingia. I think right now Francia is the weaker nation, so we're going to begin with them. Let's go. And this is great. We were able to complete our 4th espionage idea, giving us the 15% aggressive expansion impact reduction. And now in total, guys, 35%, 45%. And if we were just a little bit more lucky, we would have 65% aggressive expansion impact reduction. Right, now for the next government reform, we have once again a couple of good options. I think I'm gonna go with the state captains for the reduced autonomy. Yeah, that sounds good. We're not going colonial, so the English colonial companies doesn't really benefit us that much. The nation of Galicia, your faithful ally? Oh, that's because they're in day 3, right? God damn you, son. God damn you. Do I not wanna fight Andalusia now? 69,000 units, bro. Oh man, that's just bad. Maybe let's just finish this a little bit faster. I'm gonna take this province to connect our lands with Callan. Do we really take anything else here? Or we could delay this a little bit, like Raj, assault this real quick. Maybe we can get this fort. Yeah, we can get this fort, but now... Okay, let's escape from here. We're going to accept this. We have to accept this. We'll see what happens here. Maybe we're just gonna let them have these 2 provinces. Anyways, guys, I was kind of planning to hold the golden era, you know, so we could use for the religious league war, but we're just going to use it right now. We're gonna start it right now because Andalusia is kind of being a complete plan wrecker. Okay, how about we take something like this in this war? I kind of need the money. That's going to be helpful, and that's barely any aggressive expansion. Barely any aggressive expansion for taking this entire full state, for giving all the provinces back to Normandy, for taking Picardy. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. We get permaclaims on Brittany, don't really need that anymore. And we would be able to get permaclaims on Ile-de-France area, but we actually cannot rival, and we don't have Francia rivaled. So that kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Whoa, that's a wall of text. Sorry, bro, I ain't reading that. But we're getting yearly army tradition decay until the end of the game. Actually, this is pretty damn decent. And the ruler gets 1 mill point. Now, honestly, I think we will be getting this ahead of time. Let's grab level 7. And let's get some cannons. We can definitely get some cannons. This is going to help us with this current war that we have calculated overextension, as always. There's some nations that want to join this war, and I really don't mind them joining. Styria, thank you so much for trying to help. If we keep any forts in the Brittany area, it's going to be the one in Nantes because it's a salt province, so at least it has a little bit of defensiveness. We can delete this one. And yeah, guys, as I previously said, these Irish nations are fighting each other. It's pretty funny to see, guys. Let's see what these boys are made of. Andalusia, come here. Why are you running, bro? What's happening? Why are you running now? There we go. We caught him. We caught him. And he's wrecked. And he's wrecked. Now this is going to be a bit more difficult. 51,000. Maybe we can get some support for this one. I think let's go. So the thing is... Oh, he's level 6 now. He was level 5 when he declared. That sucks. Yeah, that's not great. Let's see. I think we got this anyways, right? Yeah, we're doing damage. we are definitely doing fine in this war. And he doesn't have infinite manpower like we do. He doesn't. Okay, boys, I think we're doing it. I think we're wrecking him. So far, it's decent for sure. Right, there we go. The war is done. Thankfully, we got these guys off Galicia. Alright, yet another nice war. Lotharingia is done. We're going on with this reconquest. We're giving back course to Champagne. So this is sweet. We can take Paris from them as well. This is so little aggressive expansion to take anything that we're just gonna max out on this. We're taking as much stuff as we can. 28 aggressive expansion for all of these provinces. This is insane. Scotland, you're dead, sir. So how much is this? 79% to take their entire nation. They're done for. Wow, this is 9 aggressive expansion, guys. That's just amazing. Okay then, Britain is pretty much entirely ours. Now we really need to start saving admin points. We have been doing a ton of conquering. We need to improve our admin technology so we can unlock more ideas. So we're gonna chill a bit with the conquests. You know what? Let's actually give Holland the electorate. You can have it. And I'm gonna subjugate them. I'm gonna make them our subject. We can get rid of our heir. He's 52. Doesn't really matter if we don't have an heir. Does not matter whatsoever because we don't intend on staying as the H3 emperorship. Let's quickly attack our boy Holland. And this guy was super quick, so we are going to make Holland our subject, obviously. No coalition. Well, there is a coalition this time, but most of these nations actually have a truce with us, so it doesn't even matter anyways. Alright, so we have an elector as our subject now, and this means we can just steal their electorship. So we are an elector ourselves now. I'm gonna vote for some like very weak emperor. Who are these guys voting for? Actually pretty funny, but most of them are, all of them to be honest, are voting on different nations, which is crazy. You know what? I'm gonna be supporting the Great Kingdom of Luxembourg. If I can find that in the list, there it is. Luxembourg has to be the H3 emperor. Right, so there's a couple of missions that we can do now. We own all the provinces in the Highlands. I actually didn't notice that we completed this one because we're keeping the Soundtol one. But yeah, basically we're going to lose some years of separatism in the Highlands area. We get Highlander accepted culture, max promoted cultures. If we complete this mission while we have a larger fleet than Norway, we will gain territorial cores on the area of the Isles. So this is going to help us. We can fight Norway next. And we have rival the Dutch. We get permaclaims on Holland area, barrage cost reduction, and impact on siege +1. And for invade Holland, we actually need one more province, so we will have to take out Utrecht, which we have a core on. So we were planning to go for Norway next, but honestly, we can just go and retake this core real quick right now. That's going to take no time. Way too many mill points, boys. We can develop a couple of provinces, but we can also get some additional generals to boost up our army professionalism, and it's pretty cheap, only 39 points, because we have a privilege that reduces the cost and we have the golden era. So let's spam this a little bit. Let's bump this up to 20%. And we can just select the best out of this bunch, get rid of everybody else. We can keep the guys with like 5 shock with good siege ability as well. Architectural development, absolutely love this event. One of my favorite ones for sure. 100 of each monarch points for a small fee of 170 ducats. It's always a steal. And we really need those monarch points, to be honest. We really need them. We can finally catch up a little bit with admin technology. I gotta say, this disaster that we had really sets us back when it comes to technology, especially if we're going for so many conquests as we did. Okay then, that is not a bad heir, 536. How is this guy not dying? He's 75 years old, how is he not dying, bro? I don't want to become the emperor again, that's the problem. Wait, we still have a couple of alliances, we can break those off. Hopefully these guys are not going to vote us. Now let's go for this. Wait, what? Wilburg is a female? Since when is this a female name? What the hell, bro? Maybe I'm just stupid, but I've never heard of a female named Wilburg. Okay, then. Honestly, Asturias, at this point, you just have to... It's your destiny, bro. It's your destiny. We're definitely the worst H3 emperors there ever were. These guys would have been better off it was Luxembourg instead of us. And okay, we have the score. We have the score, which means we have a mission done. Invade Holland, we get 100 prosperity in the state of Holland, and the center of trade in Amsterdam is increased by 1. Now this is already a level 2, so it's going to make this a world port. Amazing. And I want to make sure these guys are diverting trade to us. While we're still the emperor, let's revoke the free city status of Ghent. We will need this. Bro, this is unbelievable. Like, this guy needs to die. 77 years old. What's happening? In the meantime, we get a new heir, Henry Wessex. He's got 5 in all stats. Now that's a good heir. But once again, these guys are starting to vote for us. Can you like get away from me? I will send you some insults. There we go. This kind of fixes the situation. It's gonna be Bavaria if we vote for Bavaria ourselves. So I have to betray our boy Luxembourg. Okay, we're no longer the emperor. That's completely fine. The worst thing is that we lost a ton of maximum manpower, but we're gonna be fine. Not a huge issue. Force limit is still good. Okay guys, we finally have level 7 admin technology, so we can go for the second idea group, and we're gonna delay the offensive ideas. We're gonna go with religious first, because in the near future we're getting the Anglican religion. We're gonna need to convert a ton of stuff. These guys are still fighting for the Irish emperorship status, you know. There's only 3 best nations left, and Munster is not having a great time. I think I'm just gonna go for Norway now. So what exactly do we need from these guys? We need like 2 full states. Yeah, that's about right. We're gonna take the islands, of course. Maybe even Iceland. Guys, we finally integrated our subjects, but now the governing capacity is not looking that good since we're in the A3. We only have 400. Okay, we can take land rights. We can, sure, let's go. Oh, no way, man. Novgorod is messing up our plans. What the hell, bro? Why did you do this, bro? Oh, man, that sucks. And there's no way for us to get into a war with Novgorod now. So we cannot really stop them from taking the provinces that we need. Okay, next government reform, we have to go for Royal Marines. This is actually going to be needed for one of the missions. Bro, okay, I'm not gonna delay this, so we're gonna take what we can. If need be, we will just fight Novgorod to take the remaining of the stuff back. So this is not too much that we can... Maybe let's just skip out on Iceland for now and just take some of this. Yeah, let's take this for now. Oh! Interesting. So this must be some kind of a new formable. The one nation that was left in Ireland formed Fingale. Okay, that's cool. And these guys have the ability to raid coasts and have additional shock damage. I mean, okay, we can keep these guys as a subject. That's pretty nice. Oh, crap. Yeah, I think we forgot to take the Isle of Man. But it was released by Novgorod, so we can just quickly snatch it. And this guys was like a one-day war. Boom. Bro, I hate Novgorod. They didn't even take any of this stuff, just occupied for no reason. And messed up our plans. These bastards. Right, anyways, liberate the Isles is done. So we get 100 Diplo power, 1 Diplo reputation, and permaclaims. That's good. We can definitely develop the Thames Valley. We just need to develop like 4 provinces over here to 15. And we have, as you can see, 1 million of mill points. So we can do this right quick. We just need to get this special advisor first, obviously. So I'm gonna take the DevCos guy. And maybe let's even kill the rebels first so we can sell titles. There, now it should be good. If we summon the diet, go for the burgers option. As always, guys, take the monopoly rights. Complete the agenda, get a ton of loyalty. We don't actually even need to sell titles this way. That's a bit overkill. We can go crazy with the development now. So, okay, we need 5 over here. Only 2 dev points in this province, we need a ton in this one, and only 5 in this one, and boom, we are done. So develop the Thames Valley is gonna give us dev cost reduction and production efficiency, and a skill 1 architect 50% cheaper, so we can now exchange this advisor. And let's upgrade this guy because we need a ton of admin points. Alright, Sweden did us kind of a favor. They took out Norway, so we don't have a choice anymore with Norway. We can now just fight Sweden. What the hell is Saxony doing? Oh, he's a general partner of Schleswig, I see. I was like, how the hell did they join this war? Okay, this is pretty much secured. Just manage autonomous sieging. I said manage autonomous sieging, and when you click this function, both armies go into one single province. This is just how broken and annoying these supposedly helpful buttons are. Just give me EU5 at this point already. And I'm saying that as if EU5 is going to be this perfect, amazing game when it's released. You never know. Alright, so thank you, Sweden. Pleasure doing business with you, for sure. Really nice provinces that we could take. We get some additional army tradition. And until the death of our Avenger of Stormform we would get discipline, but yeah, this is our current situation. We have this region, but he's going to last only 1 more year, so we can complete this mission after 1 year once we have this amazing ruler. Right, so there we go. Here we have him. Mission done. Now, I wasn't quarrying any provinces before completing this because this gives us permaclaim on all Norse provinces in Scandinavia region. So that's a ton of permaclaims, and it's a lot cheaper now to core this. As you might know, with permaclaims you get 25% cost reduction. We have claims on Iceland, guys, let's go. No time to waste, let's destroy these guys, and at the same time I believe we can go for Frankie. They're left with like a couple of provinces, so we can take this remainder. Yep, there we go. They only have Nevers and Luxembourg as their allies. We can probably even... Nah, let's not go belligerent Nevers. We can probably just take them out anyways while they're not go belligerent, as this is only one province. And we can grab level 9 mill technology a bit ahead of time for sure. Hey, that's good. Protestant Reformation is now available. What this means for us that in around 20 or so years Anglican will be also available. Now, with that being said, we can just go ahead and finish our both wars. Iceland, full annexation, 1 aggressive expansion for this. And obviously we're taking out Nevers. It's only 12 for this one province, which is pretty high developed. Luxembourg, we don't really care about this guy, just break all of his treaties. And of course, Frankia, full annexation. No aggressive expansion, no coalitions. Lovely, lovely stuff. They don't exist anymore. Oh, you want provinces back to the HRE? Nope. We can actually join a coalition against Andalusia. So who else is in this coalition? I guess so far we're the only ones. Oh man, what this is disgusting what they did in the French region, bro. I mean, at some point we have to take revenge, and I just noticed that Abbasids were formed. Yo, we're done with another mission, and that is found a standing army. So we have at least 30 army tradition, we have army professionalism, and we have a large army, at least 50,000. This unlocks a couple of new Witan issues and a general with 5 shock and 2 siege. Pretty good one. So we might be able to check these out once we have the debates available. I suppose we can start converting at least some provinces. Like, it doesn't really matter that much right now because we're gonna switch religion, but we can have a couple of bonuses, you know, unlocked for the next ability, or the age I should say. So guys, I really wanted to keep this subject in Ireland for fun, but the thing is that we need to either accept Irish culture or convert the provinces. And we don't have Irish stuff, so we could seize provinces I suppose, but I'm just going to annex the vassal. And while we're still a Catholic nation, we can obviously use the papal legate to make this annexation a little bit faster. We're once again max out with the mill points, so what I'm gonna do is get 1 million generals. That's right. Let's bump this up to 40%. With more army professionalism, we get more siege ability, more shock damage, and other bonuses, so it's always good to have. Well, except if you're going for, I suppose, a mercenary gameplay, because you get less mercenary cost reduction and manpower. Wow, man, these are some good generals. Like, kinda hurts to get rid of them, to be honest. I'm gonna prioritize having high siege, so these ones with high shock can actually go. Hey, what did we get here? I swear to god, I keep missing that we have new missions unlocked because of the sound tall. We really need to get this done. But anyways, dismantle the pagan realms is gonna give us 5% army professionalism, tolerance of true faith, missionary strength, permaclaims on Scandinavia region, and because neither Denmark nor Norway exist, we also get until the end of the game plus 5% morale of armies with Nordic Crusaders. So this is pretty damn decent. We now have permaclaims on Novgorod and on Sweden. Novgorod, I really hate these guys, man. Might have to go for a war. To be honest, we started, you know, our conquest in Scandinavia. It could be cool to just take out the entire Scandinavian region, Finland, Laponia, and so on. Alright, so it's the Age of Reformation. England in the Age of Reformation has uncertain times. Religious chaos until this age is over. We get -1 tolerance of heretics, -25% religious unity, and religion of every new signing. And heir has now 50% chance of heretic religion as long as this modifier is active. So I suppose it doesn't really even matter until we get the Anglican religion. Oh, how unfortunate. We cannot full annex Sweden. I'm gonna have to leave them with one state that we will take later. Yes, this was expected. We get the religious civil disorder. Unfortunately, we didn't manage to stop the disaster because we didn't have religious ideas finished, and of course we have a ton of provinces with different religions, Orthodox mainly and Reformed. We will be going with the eradicate the heretics to bring peace stance to get additional missionary strength versus heretics. And this is once again quite a few provinces that we can take from Lotharingia. Thank you for the donation. Hey, there we go, boys. We finally have the Church of England event, which allows us to switch our religion to Anglican. Now, it's time to work on converting everything. 0% religious unity is gonna be crazy, but we can immediately become the defender of faith, so this is gonna give us at least an additional missionary, and we're gonna take an additional privilege that is going to increase our missionary strength. Let's go with enforced unity of faith. This guy's unhappy, we don't care. We're actually going to enforce his religion, and then we can placate him a couple of times. Yeah, that's going to be 1,000,000 of rebels now. It's unfortunate. Look at that, man. How many factions we have. Oh god. I think we want to convert everything even faster. No need to reduce the national unrest. Let's at this point try and get the missionary strength advisor. At this point it's -2. National unrest doesn't do crap. And we actually have some new decisions. Missionary strength. That's going to help a little bit. Nice, there we go. Until 1552 we get mission strength plus 2% and cost -20%. 1533, only now colonialism is spawning, and Andalusia finally got it. I don't know how they got it so late, because they started with exploration and expansion ideas, so it's crazy, but okay. So now that we have 1,000,000 of Diplo and Mill points, we can actually start investing these and spawn it near our capital, which has 47 development. Now we don't really have any decent goods around our capital, unfortunately, and our capital is a cloth province, so we kind of want to develop cloth provinces because they offer -10% local dev cost reduction. This costs 100 points though. I think I'm just gonna upgrade this harbor. It's already converting to religion, so we can go ahead and spawn the institution in this province. There we go, we have colonialism in there, and it's going to spread insanely quickly. Alright, we can choose our first ability from Age of Reformation, and obviously we're gonna go with Worsker cost versus other religions. Wow, man, the rebels don't stop. They just don't stop. They keep going. Grain Michael. I hope I'm pronouncing this right. A woman known as Grain Michael has arrived at our court at the petition to release her sons Tibot and Muru. She is the queen of female chieftain of some clan known as a traitor supposed pirate. The sea queen of Connacht, they call her owner of Hans Castle. It was named so because of her first husband's attitude after he had taken a fortress in Low Corrib from the Joyce clan, which first named it Cock's Castle. Oh yeah, the famous Cock's Castle, boys. You heard of it? Okay, so we can make her an admiral, get 10 prestige, or go with the discipline advisor. Actually, the advisor could be pretty good. Okay, we can get one of these amazing Anglican bonuses, and we can continue getting these as we convert provinces. We right now have 100 church power, so we can grab encourage innovativeness, which is going to increase innovativeness gain by 50% and reform progress growth by 15% for 15 years. And one of our provinces is going to get 1 base production as well, so we can just keep spamming these. Okay guys, it took us a good while to achieve this, but we finally have colonialism. It costs 2,000 ducats. We can embrace it, and this means we can go for level 10 admin technology, and we can go for the third idea pick. Now we're going for offensive, that's for sure. We're gonna unlock a couple of these. We get some additional trade efficiency, but obviously we're going to exchange our ideas as we're going to now form Britannia. One thing I want to point out is that we will be losing the 15% aggressive expansion impact reduction, which made the English ideas really good. But apart from that, let's go ahead and check out these new ones. So right now we have morale of navies, heavy ship combat ability, we have naval combat bonus of own coast, settler increase, prestige decay, tech cost, discipline, goods produce modifier 20% is pretty big, and then we have another naval modifier, naval superpower. When we finish it all, we get yearly navy tradition, which is not bad because it also translates into trade steering. But overall, I'm not a huge fan of these ideas because naval ideas are just not great in single player. You don't get to use these. They're not that good. The second half of the idea set is not that bad though. Okay, now we have this mission. Signorize Britanland. 15 randomly owned provinces in the British region will receive 1 admin development, and we get some stability costs and legitimacy bonuses. Following mission, the Acts of Union, we actually need to embrace enlightenment. So that's 3 more institutions away in 1700s. Yeah, that would take a while. It's crazy. It's 1545 and we pretty much haven't finished half of the missions yet. Right, now we can take this culture conversion cost minus 15% from the British Witan. And this actually puts us at 40% because we have 25% from religious ideas. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to convert some provinces. Let's convert maybe all the Sami provinces. I'm going to select like a couple of different culture groups that we're converting. Let's go Irish, maybe even Norman culture. Yeah, we have enough points for that. We can do Flemish as well. Nice, there we go, boys. End of religious turmoil. That's amazing. We waited patiently, and the Anglican League is here. Now, guys, we need to wait for nations to join us up, and we're gonna start this war against Bavaria. So currently, Upper Burgundy is the leader, but obviously we're going to join and we're going to become the leader as we have a much higher strength in them. I think it's time to get some barracks, boys. Look at that, it's going to give us a ton of manpower, so let's spam this. Let's get some spy network going on Bavaria. That's nice, we have a couple of nations joining us. Not too many so far, but we have some. Holy crap, I've just realized this is going to be a super difficult war because Andalusia and Bulgaria are both on the Catholic side. Why, bro? Like, this is a Sunni nation and Bulgaria is an Orthodox nation. Why are they betraying us? And we only got Salzburg and pretty much Upper Burgundy. No one really joins us. That's right, boys. Our army has reached a new level of professionalism, which now grants us additional 10% morale of armies and army drill gain modifier. Yo, what the hell happened to Novgorod? They're like banished. And Tataria is here. Seljuks are going pretty crazy in Anatolia. We're about to be done with another super important mission. We just need to bump up our manpower a tiny bit more. And if we now full core some of our provinces because we have a ton of admin points, we will be able to do this. There we go, easily. The redcoats are here. 10% infantry combat ability until the end of the game. Oh nice, another nation joined us, Vendia, and that's a really good one with 37,000. Oh man, the Catholic League just keeps growing though. Right guys, we finally have a bit of an upgrade for the Sound Toll. I'm going to invest all of our manpower. Let's take out like one loan and let's finish this right now with money. Boom, we have level 2. So now we can finally click this, get this to level 3. And it's giving us some nice bonuses. It's time for the big moment because Andalusia right now is preoccupied with Abbasids. So it's time for us to finally strike as we're declaring this war on Bavaria, Religious League. Let's crush these bastards. Now, first of all, let's take a look into the ledger army quality comparison. As you can see, guys, we actually, in this war, have the highest morale. I'm pretty sure we have the highest, we have the highest discipline. It's matched by Friesland and Passau, which are tiny nations. Some of these guys have very high defensiveness. Like, for example, Bulgaria is a huge nation, Andalusia as well. Quite high defensiveness, that's for sure. But we have good siege ability, we have the highest, we have the most professionalism and tradition. We should be able to destroy them. Now, first of all, let's try and occupy some Andalusian provinces because they should have majority of their army in Egypt. As you can see, it's occupied, so we can farm some easy war score. But obviously, we will need to occupy pretty much all of these nations' capitals and lands because we want to convert them separately to our religion. We want to force religion on them. And only on Bavaria, we want to choose the peace option, which will establish Anglican as the dominant religion. Now, we're not going to barrage any of these forts because we're still saving mill points. We need level 13 and we still need to finish offensive. But they're still going down pretty quick, these forts. Nah, this is actually going fantastic so far. I'm liking this. Andalusians arrived and they're very bold because they're engaging in this fort and they probably will get wiped. Indeed, we just crushed their army. I don't know what they're doing realistically. So we might be able to quickly peace out Andalusia and that's going to be a major power removed from the war. Super good stuff. We have offensive finished, additional discipline, more policies. So of course we're taking religious unity, missionary strength versus heretics, and we can even take spy network. I swear to God, guys, that was the only battle that I showed you that we fought versus Andalusia. Like, they're nowhere to be found still. At this point, I'm just gonna leave like 2 stacks to siege down Fez and the remaining African provinces, and with 1 stack we can try and go for the smaller nations. Honestly, we could get another stack of soldiers. We still have a bit of force limit left. But I also kind of want to continue investing our money into our economy as we can build a couple of workshops that will give us a ton of money. And later on, I would love to fill my country all with roads. Looks like we can start piecing out some nations, and obviously we're converting their religion. We can take some war reparations or just break their treaties. To be honest, it's probably best that we break treaties because all the other religion nations, we kind of want these guys to fight. For the next government reform, we can take reformed Landstandi, which is going to reduce the national unrest and years of separatism. Pretty good one. Oh yes, love it. Andalusia is getting completely wrecked. We don't need to do crap. Keep going, boys. Keep going. Okay, maybe that's not too good. 75,000 might be a little bit too much. So I don't know, we probably kind of want to get out of here. We cannot piece them out yet, like they're not even willing to give us the money, not even talking about the provinces that we want to take. There's our new institution, printing press, lovely. And actually we have ruled the North Sea mission completed. Massive peace deal with Andalusia. We took the 3 provinces that we needed to release the vassals from, and we took 3,000 ducats. Unfortunately, only 700 is going towards us, but this will of course overall hurt them quite badly. And next war should be easier. Okay, so we're taking the next admin technology a bit ahead of time, and we're going to pick our next ideas. Honestly, let's go for state governance ideas. There's some amazing policies with this one. With offensive, this gives leader siege +1. We can have really strong armies, we can have a lot of admin efficiency, and eventually even absolutism with this. Are we going to finally remove Bulgaria from this war? I don't know how long this will take. Maybe let's go for their capital in Turnovo. War of the Anglican League defeat. First Nation peaced out. Moravia actually lost provinces and released Nitra as a sovereign state. Well, too bad for you, my boys. Too bad for you. I honestly don't know why, but we cannot convert Silesians. This is interesting. We cannot convert their religion. And these guys are Slavic. I don't know. Might be intentional, might be a bug. This is a pre-release version that I'm playing on after all. Increase influence in Anglican faith. We now have 10 nations following Anglican religion. The world shall be Anglican. We are so close to getting Bulgaria out. This battle might do it. Hopefully they didn't take the fort on time. We got this in the bag. Get out, Bulgaria. And that is it, guys. We're converting the last nation in this war. And we have Bavaria, which we cannot unfortunately convert because we need to take religious supremacy first of all. So there's that. We will definitely convert them in the next war. And there we go, guys. Religious supremacy. We are now by default elected as the emperor. We have only 1 elector, no imperial authority. But this is mainly because there are no electors and there's a million of heretic princes. So our mission is to convert everybody to follow our religion and appoint new electors. First of all, we can start granting electorship. And to nations following our religion, we want to improve relations with them, and we want to constantly declare wars. Let's say on Swabia, we could declare cleansing on heresy, we could fight all of their allies and even co-belligerent everybody if we want to, and this way just convert and convert and convert everybody. Like, look at this right now. The HRE looks cursed as hell. There's like Anglican nations here and there. There's Hussite, Slavic, Reformed. There's just many different religions. It's wild. But honestly, this was a really fun campaign and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to check out Ante Bellum. All the necessary links are in the description. And of course, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you next time. Massive thank you for helping run this channel to tier 1 YouTube members AV, MangyMinotaur, ScaldabagnoBlu, Kutay, McW, tier 2 members Whale Biologist, Lazar, and RogueRhino. You guys are amazing!